Afternoon, everyone. It is 2 o'clock. Are you able to hear me? Just one person. Thank you for the thumbs up. This is State Expedited Accusations Calendar. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Is the jail on the screen before I begin? Do I see the jail on the screen? Yes, I see courtroom 2. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Judge Melanie Williams. This is the State Expedited Accusations Calendar. This calendar is for those individuals who are recently arrested, but their cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. Please be advised that this proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream and it's being recorded, which means that any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding just as if we were in person. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of the case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding. Unless I hear otherwise from counsel, I will assume that we will only be addressing bond at these hearings today. I'm now ready to begin unless there's any outstanding announcements from counsel. Okay, hearing none. If possible, could we take position 1? I see that Mr. Mondelli is present on the screen, a private attorney. If that's not possible, we'll go with whoever's ready at courtroom 2.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, you said you wanted to go to position number 1 first?
Please, if we can, so we can allow private counsel to read.
Okay. Mrs. Zachary, Alexis?
Alexis Jackson, yes. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Zachary. Your case is 22 CR 0013227C, in which you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence, and 1 count of criminal trespass. Family violence was an offense date of October the 16th of 2021. You heard me advise you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to this video hearing or to your attorney, Thomas Mondelli, assisting you by Zoom today?
My attorney assisting me.
Do you object to that?
No, I do not object to that.
All right, thank you. That was what I wanted to make sure that you were comfortable with the video hearing. Mr. Howard, I see that he is recommended this first arrest.
Third, last arrest was 2019, misdemeanor possession of marijuana. 2017, obstruction, furnishing alcohol below legal age. Those were dismissed.
Thank you. What case is this from the state? Is it you, Mr. Segura?
Yeah, it's a good afternoon, Honor.
Good afternoon. Good to see you, Mr. Segura. What is the state's position regarding Mr. Alex Bond?
The date of incident was October 16, 2021, at the location at 18015 Gardner Drive, Alpharetta. In this particular incident, the defendant shoved his murder, Bernardine Alexis, Bernardine spelled B-E-R-N-A-D-I-N-E, Alexis, common spelling, against the window, causing her to hit her head. During this dispute, the defendant also damaged the television owned by Miss Alexis by striking and shattering its screen. The state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 for the battery and $1,000 for the property damage. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons. 1-day anger awareness. Stay away from the incident location and no further contact with Bernardine Alexis. Our recommendations are based on these facts, as well as because we are worried about the victim, Miss Alexis. Miss Alexis is the defendant's mother, and she is about 57 years old. As such, we're very concerned about her safety, and especially if the defendant comes in contact with her again and violence ensues. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Segura. Before I go to you, Mr. Mondelli, I'd like the sound for the victim, last name Alexis, or first name.
Judge, she's on the call.
Yes, I see. Ms. Alexis, you are not required to make a statement at this time, but if you would like to, this is your opportunity for the court to hear what you'd like to let me know today. Again, if you would like to, you'd have to turn on your audio. I can see your video. Would you like to make a statement, Ms. Alexis?
Judge, I'm sorry. Miss Alexis is actually the person who has retained me for this case. If I may present first, and then I could question her since she is part of my family, she's here on behalf of the defendant. I can
Ms.
place her directly
Mondelli,
with them.
I will allow you to do some very limited questions of her, particularly, but again, I don't want to get into the facts of the case at a bond hearing. That will be my only concern with you recrossing or asking any questions, but I will allow you to present your argument. Go ahead, Mr. Mondelli.
Thank you, Judge. My client is 23 years old. The incident location is the home that he and Miss Alexis, who's on the call, share. As the police report indicates, Judge, my client suffers from various mental health issues and some substance abuse issues since the incident. And in fact, just within the last 2 weeks, he has completed inpatient rehabilitation, which Miss Alexis can talk about. I will state in my place that it's Miss Alexis's wish that her son be allowed to return home, that there only be an order for no further violent contact as opposed to no contact, and that we'll proceed with the case appropriately from there. I can put Miss Alexis under oath to answer those questions directly, Judge, if you wish, but we would be asking for an OR bond in this case. My client's mother works as a hairstylist in Alpharetta, and her son is, I think, just now starting to pick up work, I believe, at a Starbucks in the local vicinity as well, once he makes his bond. So their ability to afford a bond, I think, is somewhat limited compared to any mental health and other treatments that are necessary for his care and going forward. So we'd ask for an OR bond on this, Judge. I know it's in your discretion, though.
Thank you. Mr. Mondelli, I'm going to allow you to question your client very limited, just for the purposes of discussing the contact. If you would do so in place or under oath. Of course, Mr. Segura will have the opportunity for very limited cross.
Of course.
All right.
Miss Alexis, please raise your right hand for me. You swear or affirm any testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I
Okay,
do.
thank you. You can put your hand down. You are Bernadine Alexis,
Yes, sir.
and you are the alleged victim in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you've heard both my argument and the state's argument. Do you wish to have contact with your son, Zachary Alexis?
Yes.
It is your wish that Zachary Alexis be permitted to reside with you at the address that the state indicated, which is 18015 Gardner Drive, Alpharetta, Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any concerns for your safety with your son living with you in that household at this point in time?
No.
Okay. Judge, I have nothing further subject to cross-examination.
Thank you. Mr. Segura, do you have any very limited follow-up questions, limited only to the desire for contact or the stay away provision?
I do not.
All right. With the state having granted, I'm going to enter my ruling at this time. Mr. Alexis is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to take a one-day anchor awareness course. He is to have no further violent contact with his mother, Bernadine Alexis. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either party at this time?
Not here, Judge.
Break it down. I apologize. It's $2,500 signature on each charge.
Thank you, Judge. We appreciate that. And just for clarification, I am currently e-filing my entry and discovery motions into the case based on the accusation number today, and those will be in the system shortly.
Very good, Mr. Mondelli. Thank you. All right, that will conclude Mr. Alexis' case. Mr. Mondelli, if that concludes your business with the court, you are free to go. Best of luck to you, Mr. Alexis. All right, who do we have next at the jail?
Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 12. Mrs. Malave, I'm sorry.
Okay, position 12. It's Malave, or will you please pronounce your last name for me?
Is Malave.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Malave. Your case is 22 CR 0013288E, in which you're charged with one count of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, one count of giving a false name, and one count of possession and use of drug-related objects, each with an offense date of March the 10th of 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights previously. Do you have any objection to a video hearing today?
Your Honor, we having connection issues. Can you repeat that, please?
Okay, I'll start from, well, I'm not sure where we cut out, but we'll just say this. Ms. Malave, do you object to a video hearing today?
No.
And Ms. Kim, do you represent her?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your business, Ms. Kim. Do you object to Ms. Kim assisting you by video?
No.
All right, and did you hear me explain your constitutional right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna go to Mr. Howard. Mr. Howard, can I have that history, please?
D1 total,
6-1 or 5-1?
5-1. On probation for shoplifting, 20 SC 175231. And felony theft by receiving, 20 SC 176578. She got a couple of FTAs from 2019. Last arrest was 2020 probation violation. I believe that.
Thank you. Mr. Segura, is this your case as well?
It is.
All right, in the state's recommendation,
The date of incident occurred on March the 10th, 2022 at 2448 Cheshire Bridge Road, Atlanta. In this incident, when the police got into contact with the defendant ran away from the police officers. When she was apprehended, she gave out the false name of Susie Lopez with an intent to mislead officers as to her identity. When the police ended up searching her purse, they found that it contained a crack pipe. The state is recommending a $4,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Our recommendations are based on the facts, as well as because she has a long history relating both to Florida and Georgia related to several of these charges. For example, in Florida, in 2011, she was arrested for drug paraphernalia and obstruction of police. And now in Georgia, and 4 times in 2014, she was arrested for giving a false name and possessing drug-related items, both on April the 9th, April the 19th, November the 10th, and December the 15th. Alongside, she was also arrested for possession of drug-related items in 2019, as well as February 13th of 2020. Because of her long history of getting arrested for very similar crimes, we are concerned that she will recommit these similar crimes in the future. Thus, that is our recommendations. Thank you.
no, I'm sorry, Mr. Segura, will you give me the breakdown of your recommendation? You said $4,000 surety. How did you want it broken down by each charge?
$4,000 surety, we're asking for $1,000 for the willful obstruction, $1,000 for giving a false name, and $2,000 for possession of a drug-related item.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim,
Yes, Your Honor. She is 33 years old and she has a phone number. However, she has challenges residentially. So we are trying to help her with the social worker services. She has been here in Georgia for 8 years. She does not have a family here in Georgia, and she has not been able to get employment because she was in Pulaski County Prison from May 2020 till November 2021. That Pulaski County Jail is in Hawkinsville, Georgia. So there was a probation violation on August 2020 because she was basically in jail, so she could not report to probation. So we don't want her to be punished for the probation violation because she was serving the time. She's kind of going through depression right now, so we would like to, and she does not have any income at this point. We would like to request for signature bond. However, if Your Honor does not think signature bond is acceptable, we would like to request for bond amount no more than $1,000, Your Honor.
okay, thank you. At this time, Ms. Malave is gonna receive a split bond. On count 1, she's gonna receive a $500 surety bond. Count 2, she will receive a $500 surety bond. The total surety bond will be $1,000. For count 3, she's gonna receive a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. So I split the bond in half. The total bond amount should be $3,000, including surety and signature. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, so she may bond, and she will be reset to the SAP calendar on March the 24th of 2022, where these conditions in the bond can be revisited. All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Malave. Who do we have next?
Your Honor, we have position number 13, Ms. Quevedo Diaz. She also has a visitor here that wants to speak on her behalf, her mother. Is that allowed?
For now, no, but we'll see how this plays out. For now, we're gonna try to move this along.
Okay.
All right. I'm missing that page. Hold on, it's in my second. All right. I do, page 8, okay, correct. All right, are you Laura Valentino Diaz?
Yes.
Okay, your case is 22 CR 001-321C, and what you're charged with 1 count of driving following too closely, 1 count of driving hit and run with duty to stop, and 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. Rest safe. You've heard me advise you of your constitutional right. Do you object to the video hearing today?
No.
And do you object to do you represent her, Ms. Kim? Who represents this defendant?
I do,
Okay,
Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, and you see Ms. Kim is on the Zoom conference, as am I. Do you object to the video hearing or Ms. Kim assisting you by video?
Yes.
You object, what I'm asking you, is it okay for us to do this by video today?
Oh, no, yeah, I can take her.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Howard, particularly interested in other DUI.
It's first arrest.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, before I go to Ms. Kim.
Oh.
Mr. Figueroa, is this your case?
It is.
All right, the state's recommendation.
The incident occurred on March the 10th, 2022 at the Holcomb Bridge Road and Walsall Road, Roswell. In this particular incident, police responded to a vehicle collision at Holcomb Bridge Road at 400 SB ramp. The defendant struck the rear end of another vehicle that was stopped behind backed up traffic. At that point, the defendant fled the scene in a vehicle before it was blocked by the other driver. Once police arrived and police conducted a collision inspection, they ended up checking the defendant. When the police talked to the defendant, they found out her speech was slurred and she was confused when questioned. She also had watery eyes, unsteady feet, and needed to lean out of her car to regain balance. When police asked for the location of where she was before the crash, she ignored the question and said she was going home. During this discussion, police detected some alcohol on her breath, but the defendant denied that she was drinking. And under a breathalyzer test, she had a reading of 0.147. Alongside, the police decided to give some tests, such as the walking chain, which she failed, and the rolling stand, which she also failed. As such, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, $1,000 for each count, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. We're making our recommendations based on these facts, as well as the concern that she's have some type of irresponsibility with vehicles, as in 2019, she was speeding at 75 and a 55. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mrs. Figueroa, what's the state's position on driving?
The driving, we're asking for the.
Does the state have a position? It's not that, I'm not requiring you to have a position. I was curious to see if the state did have an opinion or a position on driving.
I just notified about the license.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Laura, she's 21 years old. And again, this is her first arrest. She has been here in Georgia for about on and off 12 years. And she has her parents here, siblings here. As you can see, her mother is over there at the back. And she has been, she's trying to get a job. However, she's full-time she's going to school, Kennesaw University. Her major is psychology, criminology. So she would like to continue her education, and she does not have much income yet as a student. So we would like to request for signature bond. If not, we would like to request for maximum $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. At this time, the defendant is going to receive surety bond as follows: 500 for count 1, 500 for count 2, and 2,000 for count 3, for a total of a $3,000 bond. She is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of this bond, and she is not to drive unless she has a valid license issued by the Georgia DBS. Is there anything further from either party or questions regarding my ruling at this time?
No,
None,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Corrado, could be as we can move to the next position.
Thank you.
We're gonna go to position number 14, Mrs. Rue, position number 14.
Actually, I would like to request for breakout for her, if that's okay with you, Your Honor.
All right, that's fine. Who would need to be placed in that breakout? It would be me, Ms. Kim, Mr. Peter. Is there any other parties that need to enter that breakout? All right, hearing none, will we please put us in the breakout?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, we are back from our breakout session. If Mrs. Segura would put, let me first advise you, are you Heather? Please pronounce your last name for me.
Ms. Rui.
Okay, Ms. Rui, your case is 22 CR 00129 in which you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, driving, possession of an open container of alcohol, a windshield window wiper violation, and failure to yield right away. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to this video hearing, or your attorney, Ms. Kim, assisting you by video?
No.
Thank you. Mrs. Segura, we've spoken in the breakout room. Will you please put the state's recommendation onto the record?
The recommendation is a $9,500 surety bond, $5,000 for the DUI, $2,500 for driving possession of open alcohol container, $1,000 for the windshield violation, and $1,000 for failure to yield right of way. We're also asking for no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, no driving without a valid license, and a behavioral evaluation.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim,
Yes,
put the
Your Honor.
defense's recommendation onto the record.
Yes, we would like to request for signature bond. And we don't have any objection to those conditions. And if we have to get a surety bond, maximum of $1,000, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. At this time, I'm going to do a split bond again. For count one, Ms. Rui is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. For count two, she's going to receive a $2,500 surety bond with the conditions that she is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, be subject to a VHET. And on count 3 and 4, those are going to be $1,000 signature bonds through the jail with the same conditions. So that total should be $7,000 total bond, split $5,000 surety and $2,000 signature. Is there anything further from either party or any questions? Oh, and she is also to have no driving unless she has a valid license issued by the Georgia CDF.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Best of luck to you, Ms. Ruiz. Who do we have next?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We have before you at the South Annex position number 6, Ms. Glover.
Okay, good
Your Honor,
afternoon.
Ms. Glover has her mother here in courtroom 2, just to let the honor know, her mother's here.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. All right, are you Normani Glover? All right, your case is 22 CR 00132F. I am Judge Melanie Williams, and this is the State Expedited Accusations Court in the State Court of Fulton County. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. This proceeding is being broadcast over the internet, live streamed, and recorded, which means that any member of the public can log on and watch this. Do you object to a video hearing today, or to your attorney having opportunity to assist you by Zoom today? All right, thank you. Mr. Howard, first arrest?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm going to go straight to Ms. Mitchell. Is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good to see you, Ms. Mitchell. What is the state's recommendation?
Our recommendation, well, I'm gonna start off, Your Honor, this is a co-defendant case with position 5. Our recommendation on this case is gonna be a $1,500 surety bond, no further contact with her co-defendant, James Clark. Stay away from address 2601 Roosevelt Highway, apartment H4, College Park, Georgia. We're gonna be requesting stayaways in both cases, so it just depends on who's has another place to stay. A one-day anger awareness course in no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. As Your Honor is aware, this is where the defendant battered her boyfriend, the co-defendant Clark, by slapping him in the face, causing a red welt. Defendant Clover, the defendant before us, admitted to slapping him in the face. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim, is this your case, Mr. Conchita?
Yes, Your Honor. How you doing today?
It's good to see you. I'm well. What is the defense's position? And
Your-
particularly, I'm interested as well to know whose home that is, if you are already aware.
I don't know whose home that was, Your Honor.
And I understand they probably live there together, but I was assuming We'll let you speak, Ms. Clover, at the end to clarify just that point. Mr. Vinci, go ahead. I'm ready for your, the defense's recommendation.
Your Honor, Ms. Clover, she's 23 years old, no kids, not married. As the state stated, this is a co-defendant, so this is her boyfriend. She's the one that actually called the police, and they were both arrested that day. I don't believe there'll be an issue with them. I believe they still want to work on their relationship. What we'll be asking for is no harmful contact. She's never been arrested, never had any issue like this before. So this is her first time. She does have her high school diploma. Prior to this, she's a travel model. So her career is that she does model a lot often in New York as well. So what we'll be asking for is an OR bond. We believe that she's eligible for it and a great candidate. I don't think there's any issue of failure to appear, not returning, or further incidences, since I didn't hear the state say that she has a record for it. So we would be asking for OR bond, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vinci, I'm going to ask you to question your client for the very limited purposes of clarifying whose home that is, like if specifically whose name is on the lease. And I also want to know if I were to issue that stay away, would she have somewhere else to stay?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Clover, that address, is that your address?
Yeah, that's my name's on the lease.
Okay. And if you were, let's state that if you had to leave, would you be able to live anywhere else?
Yes, I will move back to my mom in New York.
Oh, you said your mother stays in New York State?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, one other question, Ms. Coleman, is a very limited question. Is his name on the lease as well?
No.
All right, thank you.
So for that reason, Your Honor, we would ask that she does not have to leave her home since it's her name's on the lease. And as stated, just the OR and a non-harmful contact.
All right, thank you. In light of the information before me, I am going to issue a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. I'm going to require the one-day anger awareness course. I am going to issue the no further contact at this time. So she's had no further contact with Mr. Clark. Of course, this can be revisited, but the case will be reset for the notice, not the SAP. But at this time, they are to have no contact. I'm not going to issue the stay away in light of the information received from me that is her home and her name is on the lease. Is there any further questions or comments from either the state or defense?
Not defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Mitchell, anything from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Clover. We can move to the next position.
Your Honor, was that a signature bond from pretrial or the jail?
Pretrial services.
Thank you. We actually have the co-defendant, position number 5, Mr. James Clark.
Okay, so we can take, okay, we'll take the co-defendant now. Mr. Clark, your case is 22 CR 001318F, and with your charge of 1 count of battery family violence and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce within the same state of March the 10th. You've heard me advise you of your rights. Do you object to the video or to your attorney assisting you by video?
No.
All right, who represents Mr. Clark?
I believe it is Daryl.
Oh, Mr. Coleman, are you present? Yes. Do you represent Mr. Clark? While we wait for Mr. Coleman to join us, Mr. Howard, can I have that history?
No, he gonna want to hear, right? You gonna tell him?
Mr. Coleman, can someone say Mr. Coleman? Ms. Kim is.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her. I mean, call him.
Okay, well.
It's only 3 arrests, unless you want to tell him when he get on.
Okay, well, well.
This is 3rd arrest. Last arrest was 2020 in New York City. Possession of stolen credit card, possession of marijuana, 2nd degree, driving while intoxicated. Hold on. They're driving while intoxicated, and the misdemeanor possession of marijuana. He was not arraigned for the marijuana and the credit card.
Mr. Toussaint, can you repeat the charges again? We
I
are
got
on connection issues, like I said earlier.
possession of stolen credit card, misdemeanor possession of marijuana, 2nd degree, and driving while intoxicated. I got a conviction for the driving while impaired. And the 2016 possession of drug paraphernalia with intent, identification, personal fraudulently. That's out of Florida. And charges were dropped.
Okay, thank you. Is Mr. Coleman now present on the screen?
Nope.
We may have to revisit this position. Oh, no, maybe not. All right, can we come back? I apologize to the,
I'm sorry, not yet.
Ms. Kim, do you have an announcement?
No, I just want, I couldn't contact Mr. Darrell yet, so.
Okay, does he have the majority? Ms. Kim, what positions do you have that remain on the calendar?
Yes,
I
from,
can take care of that. I know her positions.
yes,
Okay, can we go to another position that Ms. Kim is assigned to?
Judge, he said Zoom is not responding for some reason. He said he tried to close it and log back in, but it's not doing it for some reason.
We're gonna go to position number 11, Mr. Jeremy Little.
Mr. Coleman is log away off, Judge.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Little. Your case is 22 CR 0013168, when you're charged with theft by taking a misdemeanor with an offense date of March 10th of 2022. You've heard me advise you of your rights. You object to video or the Ms. Kim assisting you by video with this proceeding?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh, actually, Mr. Howard, I apologize.
Just little,
Yes.
8 total. History out from North Carolina and Georgia. Last arrest was February 19th. Cobb County, battery, family violence. That's open. 2017 suspended license conviction. 2011 out of North Carolina for larceny. That was dismissed. Another 2011 larceny conviction. 2012 larceny conviction. 2015 breaking and entering conviction.
I think I've got it.
It's breaking and entering, injury to personal property, and 1st degree trespass remain. That's all one arrest. And he had a 2019 arrest in Florida for child neglect. And those were dismissed. That was dismissed.
Thank you. Yeah.
The date of incident occurred on March 10th, 2022 at 50 Alabama Street, Southwest Atlanta. In this incident, an defendant walked into the victim, Christopher Pilcher's, Christopher, common spelling, Pilcher, Pilcher's office, and walked away with some glasses, virtual reality glasses, and a bag which contained some lens in it. Later on, the defendant was also caught on camera taking the stuff with him in the store. Later on, the defendant also posted the glasses on an online marketplace. And when Mr. Pilcher attempted to buy the item, and then the defendant was arrested when he tried to meet up. As such, the state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, a stay away from 50 Alabama Street, Southwest, and no further contact with Christopher Pilcher. Our recommendations are based on these facts, as well as because he has a history of larceny and theft-related offenses. Thank you.
yes. Mr. Little is 29 years old, and he does not know Mr. Pilcher at all. And he says he was attending technical event, and he bought the item from homeless man, and he advertised at the Facebook. He never knew that it was a stolen item. If he knew it was a stolen item, he would have never advertised in the Facebook at all. So he claims innocence. He has been here in Georgia about 5 years, and he lives with actually the complaint witness of the battery case at Cobb County. I mean, he was kind of like living with her on and off. So right now, because of the issue, he is homeless right now. So we would like to recommend social worker services for him. And since he has no job yet, other than he has a staffing job, temporary job, about 4 years, but because of pandemic, it has not been that great. So he was trying to make extra cash. Anyway, he would like to get signature bond. Otherwise, we ask for $1,000 bond, Your Honor, surety bond.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Little is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. Please stay away from 50 Alabama Street and have no further contact with Christopher Pilcher.
My apologies, can you repeat the surety bond amount?
1,000 surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes Mr. Little's case.
Darryl said he's ready to be let back in. He's waiting to be let back in.
Excuse me, Miss Marlena Williams?
Please don't say anything to me that might incriminate you, Mr. Little. The best thing for you to do is speak with your attorney. If you have a very limited question about the bond, I will hear it. But other than that, I don't want you to inadvertently say something to me, all right? What is your question?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Coleman. Thank you. Glad to see you. Glad that you've made it.
You too.
Oh, one moment. Ms. Little, your very limited question.
Sit back, control.
I'm from Miami, Florida, and I don't have anyone that can possibly bond me out. That's why I was trying to do a signature bond so I can go to work tonight. I do have a stable job at North Georgia Staffing, and I was just trying to get to work, and I'm also going to school for my CDL training.
I understand that, Mr. Little, but at this time, my ruling will stand. You will be reset to the SAP calendar. Wait, I have a question. Actually,
and I still live with Ms. Brittany Glover.
Wait a minute, 1 second. So you're from the defendant is not from the area, Ms. Kim?
He said he has been living here in Georgia for about 5 years.
Okay, that will not change my ruling at this time, Mr. Little. The surety bond will stand. All right, best of luck to you. Can we go back to position 5 where we were, I believe?
No, he's on his way up right now, y'all. Here's position number 5, Mr. Clark, Your Honor.
Okay, I believe we've heard the history, Mr. Comey, and you know you were not present for that. This is the third arrest. If the state would do a brief recitation as well as part of their bond recommendation, Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor, our recommendation's gonna be the same as position 6. So a $1,500 surety bond, no further contact with Normani Clover, a stay away from the address, 2601 Roosevelt Highway, apartment H4, College Park, Georgia, 1-day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, the defendant in this case, here battered his girlfriend by biting her hand and leaving bite marks. It started with a verbal dispute about his co-defendant dating someone new. Via search incident to arrest, marijuana was found in defendant Clark's pocket, and defendant Clark admitted that the substance found was marijuana. The defendant has an outstanding warrant for a failure to appear out of New Jersey in 2018. And as you know, he's a multi-state offender. So that's going to be the basis of our recommendation, Your Honor.
So you said $1,500 on count 1. What was your recommendation for count 2?
That'll be $1,000 surety. I mean, $1,000 signature.
Yeah. Thank you. Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I believe that I heard he had 3 cycles. I will be requesting a signature bond from Mr. Clark. He is 27 years of age, presently residing in Atlanta, Fulton County. He has attended some college. He's currently employed as a mechanic. He has no children. I will remind the court that the alleged victim in this case was arrested as well. We would again be requesting a signature bond. Also, although I know the court is ordering that there be no further contact between the two parties, Mr. Clark was asking that there be no further violent contact.
I understand that. If I were to order that stay away as requested by the state, if you have somewhere to stay.
Mr. Clark, did you have someplace else to go if you weren't allowed to go back to the apartment?
I have family here. I have a brother here.
Yes, he does have a brother living here in Atlanta that he can stay with.
All right. At this time, Mr. Parker will receive a $3,000 signature bond for pretrial services. He is to have no further contact with the co-defendant, last name Clever, as a condition of this bond. And he must stay away from that 2601 Roosevelt Highway address. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect any item.
That's per judge.
For the, oh, I'm sorry, I need to break that down. For the battery is gonna be the $3,000 signature bond through pretrial through the, for the possession of marijuana is $1,000 signature through the jail.
So it's a full.
So 4,000 total. I forgot about count two. I actually want to go back to Mr. Little's case following this. Best of luck to you, Mr. Clark. Can I go back to Mr. Little's case, please?
Your Honor, we already took Mr. Little back to the tank.
Okay, his attorney is present, correct? Who represents?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Ms.
am
Kim,
here.
Ms. Kim, I'm gonna modify Mr. Little's bond to a $3,000 signature bond through the jail.
Awesome.
So will you let him know as well there at the court? And please, is it possible to bring him back just so I can admonish him regarding this? I know that creates a difficulty for the jail. But I would
A little bit, Your Honor, it's gonna create some, but I'll get him back.
No, that's okay. If you would tell him just that my words, I do not want to see him again. This is his last opportunity. And I've adjusted his bond to the 3,000 signature, all right?
3,000 signature, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, thank you. All right, who do we have next?
We're gonna go to position number 16, Mr. Young.
All right, good afternoon. Are you Damian Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young, your case is 22 CR 001326A, in which you're charged with simple battery family violence within the 10th date of January the 4th of 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to this video hearing, or do your attorney insist you do my video?
No.
All right, Mr. Howard.
36 total. Last arrest was back in June for DUI.
I'm most interested in anything violent, FTA, or probation violation, so we don't have to go through all 36.
Oh yeah, no, I'll do that. 2019 failure to appear. 2019 probation violation. 2018 FTA. 2017 probation violation. 2016 probation violation. It's a lot of probation violations. I don't know how far back with the violence. State, you know right off from the violence he has, if any?
There appears to be no violence, just mostly thefts and drugs.
Yeah, and driving, DUI.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Mr. Segura?
The date is January 4th, 2022. At the incident location is 1193 Lee Street, Southwest Atlanta. In this particular incident, the defendant and the victim, Alexis Crenshaw, Alexis common spelling, Crenshaw common spelling, were driving together when they had a verbal argument. At some point, the defendant stopped his vehicle at an intersection, and then the defendant dragged the victim, Alexis Crenshaw, out of the vehicle and beat and punched her multiple times in the face and body. As such, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from the 1193 Lee Street Southwest, and no further contact with Alexis Crenshaw. We make this recommendation based on the facts, as well as because at the time, Ms. Crenshaw was in a relationship with the defendant, even though she told us this morning that she's not in a relationship anymore. We had to take into context at the time during this incident she was, and they were together at the time as well. Thank you.
All right, before I give it Ms. Kim, I
Yes.
do want to announce that if I failed to enter this on the order for James Clark. He is also to complete the one-day anger awareness that is not required of his code. All right.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Mr. Young is 45 years old, and actually he has been here in Georgia for 45 years. He was born here, he raised here. He has 4 children here. He has a strong ties to the community, 19, 20, 16, 22. So 4 children, all in Georgia, and he still supports a 16-year-old minor son. He has his parents and he has siblings here. And he actually is gainfully employed at temporary staffing place. He works at warehousing. He's been doing that for about 3 months, and he would like to keep his job. He graduated from high school, but he didn't go to college. He went to Atlanta Tech for skill truck driving. And he does not know, he says he's completely denying being a primary aggressor. And also he denies any kind of violence against Miss Alexis. So we would like to request for signature bond. And yet if signature bond is not reasonable, we would like to request for $350 surety bond. And we do not object to any of those conditions. Stay away, no further contact. We are fine with those. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, surety bond. He is to have no.
How much is that?
$1,500 surety. He is to have no, before I do this, is the victim last name Crenshaw present on the Zoom conference? Such that you would like to be heard. If you would like to be heard, this is your opportunity to do so. Hearing none, it's Mr. Young for $1,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim last name Crenshaw, and he is to stay away from the incident location previously put on the record as by the state. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
What's that address, Joe?
I don't have that address, Mr. Girl. Will you put the address for the stay away back onto the record?
It should be 1193 Lee Street, Southwest Atlanta.
All right, best of luck to you, sir.
What was that amount of that bond again, Your Honor?
$1,500.
Thank you.
Your Honor, did you include the one-day anger awareness?
No, because I gave him a surety bond.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who do we have next?
Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 8, Mr. Daniel Inman.
Good morning, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Inman. Your case is 22 CR 001323G, in which you've been charged with simple battery of family violence. I've advised you of your constitutional rights and your right to an attorney. Do you object to the video hearing, or do your attorney assisting you by video?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Howard, first arrest?
Yes, that's what I have.
All right. Who represents Mr. Inman?
Me again, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vinci. Ms. Mitchell, the state's position.
We're recommending a $3,000 signature bond, no further contact with his co-defendant on position 2. Stay away from address 21 Barksdale Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, depending on who owns the house or whose name it's under. One-day anger awareness course and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant came home drunk and battered his husband, the co-defendant Inman Beatty, by slapping him in the face after being slapped in the face by his co-defendant. The defendant remembers being in a tussle with his husband, but doesn't recall what happened afterwards. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vinci, I'm going to ask that you make the same inquiries of your client, and I'm assuming that you do not object to the signature bond.
I do not object to the signature bond, Your Honor. I would just ask for, instead of harmful, no contact, no harmful contact, I will ask him about the residence. The reason I'm asking for no harmful contact is, he is married to the alleged victim. They've been together for a while. My client is 55 years old. He's actually an attorney in the state of Georgia, retired real estate attorney. No record at all. He is a recovering alcoholic. He's been away from alcohol for over a year and a half. On this day, the economy is going crazy, so he was stressing a little, and he had a little alcohol, and that did him in. But he's definitely willing to handle this matter. But also, I know him and his husband, they're working together, and that they're still going to remain together. So I would ask for no harmful contact, Your Honor. But I will ask him about his residence.
Before you do that, who represents position 2, Mr. Beatty? Is that Ms. Kim? Or is it Mr. Coleman?
Mr. Coleman.
It was me, Your Honor.
Mr. Coleman, question, is your client's position the same regarding the desire to stay together?
Yes, according to my client, he does want to have contact with the co-defendant.
Okay, thank you. I just want to clarify that point. All right, I'm ready to enter my ruling at this time. Mr. Inman is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He's to have no further violent contact with the co-defendant, last name Beatty. He is to complete a 1-day anchor awareness course. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of his bond. Are there any outstanding issues?
No, Your Honor.
Not from this state, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Inman. Is it possible to go to Mr. Beatty now?
Of course, Your Honor.
And
That concludes my business, ma'am. Please be excused.
yes, have a great afternoon. Mr. Beatty.
Thank you. You as well, Your Honor.
All right, I'm assuming, Mr. Howard, this is first arrest for position 2 as well. I see the
Beatty, yes.
okay, I see that it's hard to hear me. Is everyone experiencing trouble?
I didn't hear the bond amount. You talking kind of low. It came out low.
Let me go. I'm gonna go out of the Zoom conference and come right back in. I've been here all day. I don't know if we had this issue.
But if you keep
earlier.
that tone, we can hear you because you sound clear now.
That's shouting. I don't want to keep shouting the entire time. So let me go out and I'm gonna come right back in. Please let me right back into the Zoom meeting.
How much was that bond amount though? Anybody?
3,000 signature pre-trial.
Thank you.
Is that any better?
I think it's when you put your head down and talk, Judge, and it's like you're going in and out when you speak. It's like when you, like, I don't know.
I didn't have that issue this morning. I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't know.
I can hear you now when you're upright like that. I don't know if the mic is close or if the mic is down. That's why I was asking the mic is up or the mic was down. But I can hear you now.
I'll move it all the way closer to
Oh,
me.
that's better.
All right.
That's better.
Oh, that's much better, Your Honor, much better.
Okay, I moved it all the way right next to me. All right, so we're on position 2, Mr. Howard. Is this first arrest as well?
Yes.
And I'm assuming, Ms. Mitchell, the state's recommendation is the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then Mr. Beatty is gonna receive a bond with the same conditions, $3,000 signature through pretrial services, 1-day anger awareness course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of his bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And no further violent contact.
I know for the violent contact with the co-defendant, last name Inman.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Beatty.
Next,
All
we
right.
got position number 3 and position number 4, Mr. Mario Berry.
Okay, Mr. Berry, you have 2 cases today. Your cases are 22 CR 001314Y, in which you're charged with battery of family violence with an offense date, of October the 20th of 2021. And you're also charged with battery, family violence in case 22 CR 001315Y with an offense date of December the 1st of 2021. Have advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to the video or to your attorney assisting you by video today?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
22 total. On probation, possession of cocaine with intent. 2019 parole violation. As far as violence, 05 2-count simple battery conviction. It was an ag assault with that arrest. It was dead docket. 03 FTA for battery. 02 battery conviction. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor, the state's bond recommendation as to both cases before us is going to be the same. So it'll be a $4,000 surety bond for each count. No further contact with the victim Tanishan, spelled TANESHANN, Jordan. Stay away from the address 458 Ira Street, Southwest, Unit 1, Atlanta, Georgia. A one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, in this case, on October 20th of last year, the defendant battered his girlfriend, Miss Jordan, by punching her and pulling her hair so hard that her braids came out of her head. It started when the defendant barged into Miss Jordan's room and began attacking her. She was on the bed when the defendant punched her and then snatched her off the bed by her hair. Miss Jordan told officers she didn't know what caused the defendant to treat her that way. And then on December 1st of last year, the defendant battered Miss Jordan by pushing the door to her room into her face, causing her to bust her lip with severe swelling. They thought she may have needed possible dental surgery. This happened when the defendant tried to force his way into her bedroom. Miss Jordan told officers that for the past month, the defendants attacked her many times, and she is afraid the defendant will hurt her again. The state's concern here is defendant's risk of reoffending. The defendant is a convicted felon with a violent history. He was convicted of 2 simple batteries in 2005, an aggravated battery that was amended to a simple battery in 2005, and then a battery in 2003. The defendant also has an open case for marijuana possession in tinted windows that he was picked up on for these warrants. We're also concerned that the defendant might be a flight risk. The defendant has 3 failure to appears, 3 probation violations, and 1 parole violation. Our victim advocate also had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Jordan and the defendant, and she states that they are currently engaged and that they lived together for 3 years and that they hadn't had any incidents since December 1st. So based on that and how different it is from what she told officers when this happened. We are concerned about witness intimidation in this case. So that's gonna be the basis of our recommendation, Your Honor.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to sound for the victim, last name Jordan. Ms. Jordan, if you are present on the Zoom conference and would like to make a statement, please, this is your opportunity to do so. Hearing none, Mr. Coleman, I'm sorry, Ms. Mitchell, again, your breakdown of the number for each case?
4,000 for each case.
4,000 for each. Thank you. Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I will be requesting signature bond from Mr. Berry on both cases. These warrants are several months old. I will remind the court at this time that these are just allegations against Mr. Berry. He is 42 years of age, presently residing in Atlanta, Fulton County. He is currently employed at a restaurant. He makes very little money, therefore he has no money at all to post for bond. So again, we will be requesting a signature bond or in lieu of that, a low bond for Mr. Berry.
All right, thank you. In light of the information before me, Mr. Berry is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond for case 3. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Jordan, and he is to stay away from that address on Ira Street. He can return 1 time with a member of law enforcement to get any possessions. On position 4, he's going to receive a $2,000 surety bond with the same conditions. He is also to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
So it's
Hearing,
1,500 for the first
Yes.
one and then
Yes.
2,000.
yes,
Okay.
for a
thank you.
total of $3,500. All right, anything, hearing nothing further, best of luck to you, Mr. Berry. Who do we have next?
Position number 7, Mr. Izami.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Izami. Your case is 22 CR 001322F, and what you're charged with simple battery with an offense date of December the 9th. I've advised you of your rights. Do you object to this video hearing?
No objection.
Do you object to your attorney assisting you by video?
No objection.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
7 total. Last arrest was in January. FTA, battery, family violence in the cab. Probation violation, ag battery, family violence. That's the same arrest from January in the cab. Arrested on Martyr, January. Possession of drug-related objects, sale of marijuana. July 2020, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. March 2020, battery, family violence. He got first offender for battery, family violence in 2016. It's an open case in Odyssey for the marijuana with intent. That's 22 CP 205562. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's bond recommendation in this case is going to be a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with the victim, Carlos, spelled CARLOS, Ocampo Espinoza, spelled OCAMPO-ESPINOZA. A stay away from the Tokyo Valentino on 1739 Cheshire Bridge Road, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia. A one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant battered the janitor of Tokyo Valentino located at Cheshire Bridge Road, Mr. Ocampo Espinosa, by pushing him to the ground and punching him in the face several times. It started when Mr. Ocampo Espinosa asked the defendant to leave the property. The defendant later followed Mr. Espinosa walking down Piedmont Avenue when he became upset and started calling him all types of homophobic slurs. The defendant made him fall to the ground by pulling his leg and then pushing him forward. Mr. Espinosa then got up and walked back toward Tokyo Valentino. That's when the defendant started screaming and began punching him in the face a few times. And based on the police report that we received after we accused the case, this is actually a battery, since the victim did sustain visible injuries on his face. As you heard from pretrial, the defendant has a violent history. He was convicted of the aggravated battery and battery family violence in 2019, where he received a First Offender Act, which will need to be revoked. The defendant currently has 3 open cases. For the marijuana and drug-related objects in 2022, where he was given a $5,000 surety bond, a felony drug charge in 2020, and then the battery family violence in 2020. We are being that this appeared to be an unprovoked attack on a stranger and based on his history, that's going to be the basis of our surety bond, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, would be requesting a signature bond for my client, or in lieu of that, a low bond. He is denying these allegations. I remind the court at this time that these are just allegations against my client. He is 24 years of age, presently residing in Decatur, Georgia. He is presently attending Georgia Perimeter College. He is working as a landscaper. He has very little to no money to post for bond. Again, I would be requesting a signature bond, or in lieu of that, a low bond for my client.
Thank you. The defendant is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to have no contact with the victim, last name Ocampo Espinoza. He must stay away from that Tokyo Valentino on Cheshire Bridge Road. And he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Are there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
Best of luck to you, sir. We can move to the next position.
Got position number 9, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Jackson. Your case is 22 CR 001325D, in which you're charged with terroristic threats with an offense date of March the 3rd of 2022. Do you object to this video hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
7 total. No, 6 total. I'm sorry. No, 7 total. Last arrest was on the 7th of this month. Possession of a knife or a firearm during a commission. Sale of marijuana out of Fayetteville. December 2020, misdemeanor possession of marijuana dismissed. 2016 battery DV, cruelty in the 3rd dismissed out of the cab. At a 2012 CWAC, he was acquitted on. Hold on. Yeah. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, the state's bond recommendation is going to be a $2,000 surety bond. No further contact with Mr. Tyrell, spelled Tyrell, White. A stay away from the RT Dairies Apartments on 777 Memorial Drive, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia. A 1-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. So, Your Honor, on March 3rd of this year, the defendant was an Instacart driver who threatened an employee in the leasing office of said apartments, Mr. White, by stating that he was going to, quote, beat his mother effing ass, and that if he saw him on the street would, quote, beat his ass there too. It started when the defendant was delivering groceries to the apartment. He got upset that Mr. White didn't assist him by opening the door. So the defendant later returned and began banging on the door loudly at the leasing office and threatened Mr. White for not helping him. He does have the violent history that we won't sound on, and he currently has an open case out of Fayetteville for possession of firearm and possession of marijuana. Our victim advocate had a chance to speak with Mr. White, and he stated that he fears for his safety, being that he works in a public place and the defendant knows where at this point. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Your Honor, I will be requesting a signature bond, or in lieu of that, a low bond for Mr. Jackson. Again, I remind the court that this time that these are just allegations against my client. He is denying these charges, states he does not even know the alleged victim in this case. Mr. Jackson is 30 years of age. He has attended some college. He is currently employed at Georgia Wellness and Spine. He works as a courier, so he is actually no money at all to post the bond. He is the father of 4 children, ages 1, 3, 5, and 6. Again, I would be requesting a signature bond.
All right, at this time, Mr. Jackson can receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. He must have no further contact with the victim, last name White, and he must stay away from the apartments at 777 Memorial Drive in Atlanta. Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, sir. We can move to the next position.
Your Honor, I would like to say something, please.
Mr. Jackson.
I would not advise you to do.
I
say anything at
caution
this
you
time, Mr.
very
Jackson.
strongly.
You have a
Do not-
$1,000 bond, sir. That would be about $120 to get out through a bonding company.
May I say something?
Again, I would not advise you to say anything at this time, sir.
I advise you strongly to listen to your attorney. You might inadvertently say something that may interfere with your ability to defend this case later. If you insist on making a statement or asking something, I will hear a very limited question only as it pertains to the bond that I just issued.
Unfortunately, I had the bond out of Fayetteville on the recent charges I had just got when I was picked up on this warrant. So every dollar to my name, I had to use the bond out of Fayetteville. I don't have any funds available to even pay the $150. I'm trying to get that to work. I work Sunday, and that's the.
I understand my ruling will stand, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, Mr. Jackson, again, you gave me the contact number for Ms. Harvey to call, so I will call her and let her know what the bond is.
All right, I
And
appreciate it.
perhaps she can post it.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, who do we have next?
Last but not least, we have position number 10, Mr. Damian Lewis.
All right. Saving the best for last, Mr. Lewis. Your case is 22 CR 001313J, in which you're charged with theft by taking and battery with offense dates of March the 9th. You've heard me advise you of your rights. Do you object to the video or to your attorney appearing by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
26 total. Georgia and Indiana. Indiana first. October 2020, public intoxication. 2012, failure to appear. 2012, public intoxication. 2010, strangulation. He was arrested in 2008 on a capital offense. I'll put it in the chat for you. I don't know the status of it. 2005, failure to appear. Another 05 FTA, 04 FTA. As far as Georgia, 2019, disorderly conduct, obstruction. 2018, battery conviction. 2018, probation violation, battery, family violence. 2015, FTA, battery, family violence. 2015, simple battery, NOD. That's it.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Segura.
Been syndicated on 1501 Camelot Drive, South Fulton. In this incident, the victim, Laverne Talley, Laverne spelled L-A-V-E-R-I-N-E, Talley spelled T-A-L-L-E-Y, said her neighbor, the defendant, walked up to her outside of her apartment and started punching her, giving her a black eye. After punching her, he took her cell phone and ran inside his apartment. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, $1,000 for the theft, and $2,000 for the battery, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with Ms. Talley. Our recommendations are based on these facts, as well as because he has several battery-related charges in 2015 and 18, and we're concerned that he could reoffend again. And also concerning that the victim, Ms. Talley, is the defendant's neighbor, we are especially concerned about her safety. Thank you.
All right. And can you give me those amounts again, Mr. Segura? I apologize for count 1 and count 2.
3,000 total, 1,000 for the theft, 2,000 for the battery.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, I will be requesting extension bond or in lieu of that, a low bond for Mr. Lewis. He is 40 years of age. He does have his GED and is currently attending classes at University of Phoenix, currently employed at Pace Setters. He has little to no money to post for bond. Again, I remind the court at this time that these are just allegations against Mr. Lewis. I understand that he does have some failures to appear in his history, but I believe that the last one was some 16 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. At this time, for count 1, Mr. Lewis is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. For count 2, he's going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Talley, and he is to stay away from that incident location. Mrs. Segura, will you put that back on the record for me? I believe it's 1501 Camelot Drive. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he must stay away from that location. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Your Honor,
yes.
so would it be at 2,000 total, 1,000 each?
No, I followed the state's recommendation. It's 1,000 count 1, 2,000 count 2.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Lewis. That will conclude your case.
Your Honor,
All right.
we also have position 15, Mr. Ware, but I believe he spoke to Ms. Kim and waived his appearance.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And so courtroom 2 can be excused. You all have a great Friday afternoon.
Thank you. You do the same, Your Honor. Have a good
Take care.
Have a good weekend. Have a good
You
week.
too. Take care. I will not be here tomorrow, so you take care.
All right.
All right. All right. So now that we're going to conclude the calendar with position 15, Ms. Kim, will you please submit that waiver of appearance to the court before we conclude today, if possible?
I already submitted, Your Honor.
Thank
and
you.
I got
appreciate
a
that.
confirmation that she received.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Howard, can I have the history for position 15?
Can you check? Check it, check.
Okay, thank you. I
He got
understand that.
other violent convictions.
How many cycles I think that
I don't have the history on me.
I think
However,
I think I have a good, we'll rely on the statement.
but he
Thank
got
you.
battery convictions, but I just don't know the total. I don't have that on.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll rely on the state, Mr. Segura.
The incident occurred on October 10th, 2021, at the location of an apartment complex located at 6770 Buffington Road, apartment unit 1004 in Union City. In this situation, police also responded to a call from the victim, Sandra Cuvas. Sandra, common spelling, Cuvas, Cuevas. She said that she was in altercation with the defendant, a location where she was when she was babysitting the defendant's kid. The defendant tried to contact Ms. Cuvas to get the phone number of the mom of the child. When she did not give it, the defendant showed up at her residence and started banging on her door. When he got inside of her apartment, he ended up seeing the kid whom she was babysitting, and then asked Ms. Cuvas about the child's mom's phone number. When she refused to provide it, the defendant struck her, and then he fled. When police arrived, they saw sweating on her left arm. The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. I stay away from the incident location and no further contact with Ms. Cuvas. Allegation based on the facts, as well as because he has a long history relating to battery, and I believe he's in jail at the moment due to a aggravated assault back in January, as well as from what I could tell from the police from his GIC, a capital offense from last month.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mrs. Segura, I couldn't hear you when you said the amount. What was the amount that the state is recommending? I think I have the other conditions.
$3,000 surety.
3,000 surety. Okay, thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there anything additional you wanted to add, Mrs. Segura?
It was the bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, the stay away, and no further contact.
Oh, yes. Okay. I wanted to just was making sure I didn't cut you off. All right. Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ware is 26 years old, and he actually denies the allegation. He does not mind stay away or no further contact. He's willing to stay away from that location. He has been here in Georgia for 26 years. He was born and raised here, and he's basically everybody, all his families are here in Georgia. So he's definitely not a flight risk at all. Again, he's also in jail right now. Employment, he works as a Pizza Hut as a pizza maker. So he has been doing that for about 10 years. He has 11th grade education, and he does not have enough funds to pay for $3,000. So we would like to request for a signature bond. Otherwise, $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Kim. I'm going to accept the state's recommendation at this time. Mr. Ware is going to receive a $3,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Cuvas. He is to stay away from the address at 677 Buffington Road. And he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of this bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, does that complete the calendar? Do we want to review it? Ms. Grace, will you please review the calendar for me? Position number 1, the $5,000 pretrial bond. Position number 2 is a $3,000 pretrial. Reset further notice. Position number 3 and 4 is reset 3/24/22 SAP. $1,500 good bond for position number 3. Position number 4 is a $2,000 good bond. Position number 5 is a $4,000 split bond, $3,000 pretrial, $1,000 SOB. Reset further notice.
Prejudice. You got prejudice for number 5?
No.
Yes.
Position number 6 is a $3,000 pretrial reset further notice. Position number 7 is a $2,500 good bond, reset date 3/24 SAP. Position number 8 is a $3,000 pretrial bond, reset further notice. Position number 9 is a $1,000 good bond, reset 3/24 SAP. Position number 10 is a $3,000 good bond, reset 3/24 SAP. Position number 11 is a $3,000 SOB through the jail, reset further notice. Position number 12 is a $3,000 split bond, reset 3/24 SAP. Position number 13 is a $3,000 good bond, reset date 3/24 SAP. Position number 14 is a $7,000 split bond, reset 3/24 SAP. Position number 15 is a $3,000 good bond, reset date 3/24 SAP. Position number 16 is a $1,500 good bond, reset 3/24 SAP.
Any comments, changes, questions, or corrections?
What was position 5 again?
I put down $3,000 signature bond. Is that what I did, Melissa?
Okay.
Number 5 is a $4,000.
Oh, it's
bond
split, yes. 3,000 signature, 1,000, no. I'm gonna let Melissa say what I did, because I cannot read
Okay,
these
no
notes.
Is a split bond. The first charge is a $3,000 pretrial per judge. Count 2 is a $1,000 SOB through the jail, a total of $4,000.
Okay.
Miss Melissa, I sent you that copy of the waiver.
I have it. I'll
Okay.
wait.
All right.
Thank you.
Hearing no further comments, changes, corrections, or questions, we will be in recess until tomorrow, March the 12th at 2 p.m., where I believe Judge Regina Mincy will be presiding. You all have a great rest of your evening and a great weekend if I don't see you before then.
Thank you, you too, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Bye, Your Honor.